You're watching real frontline GoPro footage from the Ukraine War, captured in the heat of battle as soldiers move through intense, close-quarters combat. Every moment is raw and unfiltered, revealing the true chaos and danger of the frontline. Stay tuned for more powerful Warzone content, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real combat footage. Near the village of Shakov in Donetsk Oblast, the silence is broken by the sudden intensity of close-quarters combat. Ukrainian soldiers move in with speed and coordination, closing the distance on a Russian observation post that had been watching the front lines. These positions are critical, eyes on the battlefield guiding movements, relaying information. Taking one out isn't just tactical, it's disruptive. The assault is fast and decisive. No prolonged standoff, just a rapid push forward under pressure. As the engagement unfolds, the defenders are caught off guard, forced into a chaotic fight where every second matters. The terrain offers little protection, and the advantage quickly shifts. Amid the clash, 2 Russian soldiers, identified as part of the 132nd Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade, are captured. It's a moment that signals more than just control of the position. Capturing personnel from an active unit can reveal valuable intelligence, positions, communication patterns, even future plans. The observation post itself, once a point of surveillance and coordination, falls silent. Its role in the battle abruptly ends, leaving a gap in awareness for surrounding forces. From above and on the ground, every move that once passed through this position is now cut off. What began as a targeted assault turns into a significant shift in local control, one that echoes beyond this single point on the map, and raises the stakes for what comes next. And with that gap in surveillance, nearby positions are suddenly left in the dark. Movements that were once tracked now slip through unnoticed, and the balance on this sector of the front begins to tilt. Ukrainian forces can press forward, reposition, or prepare for the next push with far less risk of immediate detection. For the captured soldiers, the battle is over, but for the wider fight, this moment carries weight. Every seized position weakens the network holding the line together. And as pressure builds across multiple points, the question isn't just who holds ground now, but how long the surrounding defenses can continue to hold it all. In the densely built areas of Donetsk Oblast, the battlefield takes on a different, far more unpredictable shape. This isn't open terrain or distant artillery exchanges. This is close, confined, and constantly shifting. Ukrainian special forces move with precision through streets, alleyways, and damaged structures, carrying out strike and search operations against small Russian groups that have infiltrated the area. Here, every doorway, every window, every shadow could conceal a threat. These aren't large formations clashing head-on. Instead, it's a fragmented fight, small units slipping into populated zones, attempting to hide, regroup, or disrupt from within. For Ukrainian forces, the objective is clear: locate, isolate, and eliminate these groups before they can gain a foothold. But doing that in a civilian environment adds layers of complexity. Visibility is limited, movement is restricted, and the margin for error is almost non-existent. Special Forces teams advance carefully, often in tight formations, covering angles and communicating in short, precise bursts. Each step forward is deliberate. Drones hover overhead, feeding real-time intelligence, helping identify movement between buildings or sudden changes in patterns. The coordination between air and ground becomes critical. One misread signal could mean walking straight into an ambush. Contact can happen at any moment. A quiet street can erupt into gunfire in seconds. The sound of boots on broken concrete, distant movement behind walls, everything becomes a signal to read, a clue to interpret. When engagement begins, it's fast, intense, and unforgiving. There's no time to hesitate. Decisions are made in fractions of a second, and outcomes are immediate. The infiltrating groups rely on concealment and surprise, using the environment to their advantage. They move through back routes, abandoned structures, and narrow passages, trying to stay one step ahead. But Ukrainian special forces counter this with methodical clearing tactics, building by building, room by room. Each space is checked, secured, and then used as a stepping stone to push further in. What makes these operations even more critical is the risk these small groups pose if left unchecked. Even a handful of fighters embedded in a populated area can disrupt supply lines, target rear positions, or create confusion behind the front. Eliminating them isn't just about immediate control, it's about preventing larger instability from taking root. As the operation continues, the environment itself bears the marks of the fight. Broken walls, shattered windows, and abandoned positions tell the story of a battle unfolding in tight quarters. Yet despite the chaos, there's a clear structure to the movement, each team knowing its role, each action feeding into the next. Moments of silence are just as intense as the firefights. The pauses between engagements carry tension as teams prepare for the next contact. Every cleared sector reduces uncertainty, but never completely. In this kind of warfare, there's always another corner, another hiding place, another possibility waiting just out of sight. From above, reconnaissance captures fragments of the operation, movement patterns, shifting positions, brief flashes of engagement. But the full picture only exists on the ground, where every decision shapes the outcome in real time. This is a fight defined not by large-scale offensives, but by precision, discipline, and constant awareness. And as Ukrainian special forces continue to push through the area, tightening their control and reducing enemy presence, the broader impact begins to take form. Each cleared building, each neutralized position, each disrupted group adds to a growing sense of momentum. The infiltration is being challenged, contained, and gradually dismantled. But in a landscape where threats can reappear just as quickly as they vanish, the operation is far from over. Every secured zone must be held, every cleared path monitored, every movement tracked. Because in this environment, control is never absolute. It's something that has to be constantly maintained. And as the search continues deeper into the area, the next encounter could be just seconds away. And as the operation pushes deeper, the tension only intensifies. Narrow corridors and confined spaces force teams into even closer proximity, where reaction time shrinks to almost nothing. Every cleared room feels like progress, but also a reminder that the next door could change everything. Coordination becomes the key to survival. One unit advances, another covers, while drones above track even the slightest movement. The margin for error is razor-thin. A single missed detail could allow an infiltrating group to slip through, or strike from behind. And just as control seems to solidify, new signs of movement begin to emerge, suggesting the fight in this area is far from finished. A reconnaissance drone drifts over the scarred terrain near the village of Zaliznich in Zaporizhia Oblast, capturing the stark aftermath of a failed armored push. From above, the scene is frozen in time, a battlefield where momentum was lost in an instant. A destroyed armored personnel carrier sits at the center, its hull torn open, blackened by fire. Around it, other armored vehicles lie scattered, some burned out, others halted mid-advance, as if the entire assault was stopped in its tracks without warning. The spacing between the vehicles tells part of the story. This was a coordinated movement, likely advancing with purpose and speed. But something went wrong. The formation broke. The advance collapsed. What should have been a push forward turned into a sudden standstill under intense pressure. There are no signs of an organized retreat. No clear escape routes, no repositioning. Instead, the battlefield shows the cost of being caught in a kill zone, where movement becomes impossible and survival depends on seconds that never came. The vehicles, once offering protection and mobility, became traps under sustained fire. From the drone's perspective, the scale of the disruption becomes clear. This wasn't just damage, it was a complete halt of momentum. Each destroyed vehicle represents a link in a chain that failed, each position marking where the advance was stopped cold. The silence in the footage contrasts sharply with what must have unfolded moments before. Rapid strikes, incoming fire, confusion spreading through the ranks. And now, all that remains is the aftermath, a battlefield that tells its story without a single word, and leaves one critical question hanging in the air.